welcome to Sports Cruise on UTV Africa, live from our Abuja studio in the nation's capital. My name is Chinwe Pekin. We got you covered in everything that's got to do with sport. From the home front, NPFL will be traveling to Cameroon to link up with our Super Falcons as they prepare to face the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon this weekend. Two double-header friendlies ahead of the WAFCON. And then we got you covered with Champions League. Yes, the playoff second leg don't conclude, and those who are serious with Champions League don't move up to join the big guys in the round of 16. And then we've got you covered with La Liga this weekend, Premier League actions, of course, this weekend. Arsenal, Chelsea, one of the biggest match to look out for. Serie A, we got you covered, Bundesliga as well. And then we've got boxing, yeah, it's in front of us, Manny Pacquiao and his best friend, his friend's best buddy, yes, the money weather man, or the money bag man, Floyd Mayweather. They don't decide to come out from retirement and face each other once more. Some say maybe money no day again for where Mayweather did. That's why they come out. Of course, Formula One and of course tennis in front of us. And all day alone, it's a full package. I've got my strike partner. He said he was a defender, but current right now, just like the Drogba, we don't move and come forward. And striker in B. Timilei Odunuga joins us. Good morning to you, Timilei Odunuga. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. Very happy to be here.
You're welcome, of course. Let's kick it off with NPFL. Rivers United faced Barao FC in one of their scheduled games. They've got 4 standing matches, 3 more to go, and they made sure their hand touched Barao FC 1-0 in one of their scheduled match. And of course, currently right now they're back at the table, at the top of the table, with about 44 points, if my memory serves me right. But then, interestingly, this weekend, Barao FC, Plateau United, Niger Tornadoes, Warri Wolves, Remo Stars, Katsina United, Enugu Rangers, Nasarawa United, Shooting Stars, Kano Pillars, Kwara United, Wiki Tourists, and then we've got Bend Insurance, Ikorodu City, El Kanami Warriors, Abia Warriors, Bayelsa United, Rivers United, Enyimba Kun Califat. To me, it's Rivers United title to lose with their 3 outstanding games left for them.
Yeah, it is. First of all,
46 points, brother.
Yeah, congrats to them on winning yesterday. I mean, even though it came from a late goal,
yeah,
they were still able to, take the 3 points at home.
Yeah.
And, it shows that maybe the players are starting to sit up and they have realized that, okay, we're out of the CAF Champions League. So let's use that loss as a gain.
As a
motivating factor, and let's go hard on them. So, yeah, it's sad that Bara, after their good defensive, structure yesterday, they still couldn't take a draw, take 1 point, because of at the middle of the table too. They are also trying to, just get their points and not get caught up with the relegation battle. But yeah, it's a good game. It was a good game rather, and I can't wait to see whether Rivers United they can take it all the way.
I think they can with 3 outstanding matches, 46 points. Ikorodu City is in second place with 45 points. Rangers in third place with 44 points. These 3 teams, Ikorodu City, Enugu Rangers, Nasarawa United, Abia Warriors, Bend Insurance, are all on 27 matches, while Rivers United, who's at the top of the table, is on 24 matches. 3 outstanding matches with 46 points. So even with the 3 outstanding matches, they are still topping with 1 point, 9 points for them to grab.
Yeah, but sometimes it can give you a false sense of security. When you feel like, oh, we're at the top, we just need to win games. That's when it really shows the true mental fortitude of the players. Whether they can say, okay, it's time to get these points, or whether they'll feel like, oh, we're still on top. Even if we lose this game, we'll still be on top. So let's just go there and do what we can do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watch their outstanding matches and see if they can keep up.
And looking forward to see if they can keep up. But while if you are closer to any of the stadiums this weekend, I will advise you to go to go watch some of our NPFL matches if you are closer to any of the stadiums. Particularly this one, Enyimba Kun Califat, one of the games to look out for. Enyimba with their new coach. They picked up a point in their last game, 1-1 draw against Rivers United. So do well to follow that game. And then we've got Bayelsa United, Rivers United. Another game to look out for on Sunday. If you're closer to the stadium, I would advise you to find your way to that side and go enjoy yourself. The defending champions, Remo Stars, this season, no really they do well. They're in the bottom of the NPL4 table. They'll be facing Katsina United, while Enugu Rangers will be at home against Nasarawa United. One of the exciting teams so far this season with the new appointment of their coach, Benga Ogumbote, is of course Barao FC, who will be welcoming Plateau United. Do well to follow that game if you can. Another exciting match to look out for is the Academy Warriors and the Abia Warriors. For Imama's side of Abia Warriors, their aim, like he said the other day, was to see how they can pick up a ticket into the continental stage, even though we don't say it no go easy. Well, let's leave NPFL to me quickly and rush through to Cameroon, Yaoundé, where our Super Falcons, our Super Ladies, exciting ladies, they prepare for double-header friendly indomitable lionesses of Cameroon this weekend and also on Tuesday. Well, excitingly, we were hoping to have Asato Shola in the list, but then she wasn't there. But then the coach, Justin Madugu, came out to say, well, we wanted to give other people a chance, wanted to give other people the grace to, it's a friendly, but Asato Shola is still part of the Super Falcons team. How did you feel when you saw the list and Azad wasn't there?
I mean, it doesn't really make a difference to me.
Yeah.
So far, she's fit, and so far there was a mutual agreement between the two parties that okay, this is how it's going to be. If she's still part of the women's AFCON's list, then there's nothing to be scared about. Really.
As long as she did the WAFCON.
As long.
That's the most important.
That's the most important. Not friendly, because at the end of the day, friendlies also things can happen. Injuries can be in place. So it's just better, after all, she's one of our most important players. And I'm sure wherever she is, she's still keeping match fit. She's still training. So yeah, let other people, like you said, let other people have their chance at it, and she'll come back for the WAFCON. And
let other people have their chance, of course. So the match comes up this Saturday against the Lionesses, indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Double header on Saturday, and then the next one next Tuesday. So the camp is getting filled up. They had their first training on Tuesday, and of course, in preparation to the match on Saturday. Few of the players are coming in, but I expect a full house match on Friday. For a full house on Friday, of course, for the players to be in camp. I'm particularly happy with the fact that Gift Monday is back into the fold. She wasn't part of those that made us proud in Morocco the last time. There were a lot of calls for Gift Monday to join up with the Super Falcons, and then thankfully, Justin Madugu decided to include her this time around in the friendly. Hopefully, he go join the Super Falcons, go collect the 11th title, because now that place, now our eyes day. We need to make the time. We need to
every trophy that we can lay our hands on.
We need it. All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we will be heading out to Champions League. Victor Osimhen wasn't happy with his fellow teammates, and he came out after the match, to say his mind and say exactly how he feels. Well, they criticized him for dancing after scoring a beautiful goal. Guess what? He came back the second time, scored another goal to make sure that his team booked a place in the round of 16, and it still did the dance. I say nothing that happened. Anything will happen, make it happen for here. Sports Cruise, with just really Liam with Pekin on top at UTV Africa. Don't go anywhere when they come back. When we come back, with the dissect Champions League, and of course, those will go meet each other on Friday as the draw for round of 16 comes close. Welcome back to Sports Cruise on UTV Africa with yours truly Chinwe Pekin alongside Etimileyi Odunoga. Well, let's quickly rush to Europe and talk Champions League. The second leg of Champions League playoff don't conclude, and those with the serious, those who won join the big boys. Don't move up to the round of 16. Of course, let's go Madrid beat Club Brugge 4-1. Newcastle, of course, beat Karabakh 3-2. Bayern Leverkusen goalless draw against Olympiacos. Inter lost at home against Bodo Glimt. Atalanta beat Dortmund 4-1. to progress 4-3 on aggregate. Meanwhile, Juventus and Galatasaray 3-2 in favor of Juventus, but Galatasaray moves up into the round of 16, 7-5 on aggregate. Real Madrid beat Benfica 2-1, 3-1 on aggregate. Of course, PSG and Monaco in the second leg 2-2. Aggregate 5-4 PSG. Of course, moving to the next round. Atletico Madrid Club Brugge, because that one ended 4-1, 7-4 on aggregate. Newcastle Karabakh 9-3 on aggregate. Leverkusen ended in goalless draw, cause 2-0 aggregate in favor of Bayern Leverkusen. And then Bodo Glimt, yes, destroying Inter, the table toppers of Syria, 5-2 on aggregate. It wasn't a no-brainer for Atletico Madrid, of course.
Yeah,
it was expected for them to do just against Club Brugge.
Yeah, it was because, you know, the second leg was at their house. And, you know, the thing about Simeone and the group of players that he has brought into that team, at this point, Atletico, you cannot separate him. You cannot separate the club from the coach. And I even wonder what they will do when he packs up his bags and says it's time to leave. And you could just tell by that game that the players were willing and they were ready to die for him.
And even he put Lukman was on bench. He was on the bench for that game.
But at the end, he still came on and he got his assist. So, you know, that's just to show you how blessed his squad is. And yeah, it was a really good game. Sorloth with a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick to, you know, see the game off. Club Brugge also, they didn't go out without a fight. You know, they tried their best.
They did.
But when it comes to the kind of players that Simeone has at his dispense to just put at any time of the game, it was a no-brainer that
it was a battle between Ademan Lukman and Onyedika for our Super Eagles brothers. What Newcastle, as always, it was expected for them to, you know, destroy Karabakh FK.
I mean, you could see during that game that it took their foot off the gas in that game. You know, they rested a lot of players. Osula started that game, their backup striker. So you could just tell that their main focus, they already done the job they wanted to do. So they're resting their players, focusing on the Premier League fixture they have this weekend. And over at that, they still managed to get the win. So it just shows you how much of a mismatch that game was. But, you know, Newcastle is a team that I think this is their first time ever qualifying for the round of 16 in the Champions League. So let's see what they can do. But yeah, I'm happy for them that another Premier League team could enter the round of 16.
And then Leverkusen Olympiacos ended in goalless draw. But let's go to Inter. Inter are Syria are table toppers. They played the final last season. But guess what? Bodo Glimt, the Giant Slayers, didn't give them a breath at all. 5-2 on aggregate.
Yeah.
If anybody been telling me say Bodo Glimt go beat Inter, come on, I don't agree.
I'm telling you, it was really surprising. I think this Bodo Glimt team, they remind me of Ajax 18-19 this season. That's just what they are, because for you as a team, mind you, their season is not even playing now.
Yeah, they're not playing
the way the players stay fit is with club friendlies. So it's to show you how locked in and focused they are. They could beat the finalists of the last season comfortably, mind you, because of, even though Inter was at home and they had a lot of chances, when you look at the stats from that game, they were level-headed. Bodo did sit back and say, oh, let's defend. They went at it and they showed Inter what a game of football looks like. I'm really happy for them, even though their next match with the people that they might face is not looking good for them. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's the beauty of Champions League football. Sometimes these type of games happen. I don't think it's really bad for Inter or Italian football that they lost. I mean, even though they would have wanted to do better, it's still a good thing that they are first in their league, and by a large margin also. They have a lot of distance.
But then some people are critical of Syria. This season, only one team managed to pull through, and that's Atalanta yesterday against Dortmund. They beat Dortmund 4-1. 4-3 on aggregate. That's the only Serie A team in Champions League at the moment.
Yeah, it's a shame for the whole league. But at the end of the day, I was specifically talking about Inter. When you look at it at the larger scale, you can say, okay, Serie A football is kind of falling off. But apart from Premier League, I think other leagues also go through this phase of, only one team doing good. There was a time it was only Bayern doing good in the whole of Bundesliga. I mean, we saw Dortmund lost their game. And also it happens to Serie A, it happens for the Portuguese league, it happens for La Liga sometimes, not all the time. It's only really Premier League that I see that, okay, a team is in the semi-final, is trying to go into the finals. But yeah, it's one of those things. It just shows you the level of disparity between the top 5 leagues.
And talking about Bodo Glimt, they have beaten City this season, Atleti and Inter twice this season. Yes, but of course, their weekly wage bill of just about 140,000 euros. That's about 7.3 million euros per year. And they said the market value of their squad is about 57 million euros. And they've managed to beat Inter. They've managed to beat Manchester City. They've managed to beat Atletico Madrid this season as well. Well, Juventus is one of those casualties, Serie A clubs. Yesterday, 3-2 against Galatasaray. With the record, they were able to score 3 goals. But then Victor Osimhen was very, 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 very critical of his fellow teammates after the match. They don't agree pass ball for him.
Yeah,
for them.
you could see it on his face. Even during the game, there are a lot of times he'll raise his hand in the box. He'll be like, okay, feed me. And, you know, you can't really blame him because every top striker, they need their service. You see it over Haaland sometimes when they are not passing, when, you know, City players are just romancing with the ball. He wants the ball. There's no top 9 that wouldn't want service. But you can criticize the way he goes about it. I mean, this is not the first time we will see, man. Everyone talks about how well he can manage his anger in the game. And you could also see after he scored, he didn't even celebrate.
He didn't celebrate. He said it was no need.
He was angry. Even after the second goal that sealed it for them, he still just, you know, was so nonchalant about it. And you could say maybe it's because he wanted to join Juve. I mean, you could have seen it. All the questions that I asked for the 2 weeks before they played that game. He has been talking about
Juventus,
which is surprising coming from a former Napoli player.
Maybe it was just to spite the Naples faithful.
Yeah, you could see it that way, but like I said a few episodes back, I still know that Osimhen wants to come back to top 5, the top 5 European league. So I can't really blame him for getting angry. Anybody would, because they were looking for a goal. Juve was 1 man down. At that time, they were tired. You should try and get your striker into the game. And you see when they did, they were really grateful for it. But sometimes he just needs to calm down and reassess.
Well, PSG and Monaco played at 2-2, but then PSG managed to pull through 5-4 on aggregate. Let's go to Real Madrid Benfica with Vinicius Junior and his downstep in game 1 2-1. The match ended. There was no Jose Mourinho on the touchline, and there was no Pristeni, who's facing racial abuse investigation by UEFA. UEFA upheld the 1-match ban, which automatically made sure that he missed the match yesterday, though he traveled with the team, but he could not play the game yesterday. What do you make of the performance of Real Madrid and also Vinicius Junior scoring and then dancing?
Well, what I can say is Benfica really tried their best. From the first 15 minutes, they showed that, okay, we're not here to play. They actually gave Courtois a hard time. And, you know, they were even the team that found the opener. But like I said in the previous episode, when you are going to the Bernabeu against Madrid, you can't count them out because immediately Benfica scored. Tchouaméni, he came up with the leveler. And from then, you could see even the Adagula offside goal that they cancelled. And at that rate, everybody knew it was not over. Why? Because Vini had not had his say in that match. And you could tell that he really wanted the goal. He really wanted to shove it in their face that, yes, I will do this. It was a good performance, mostly Carreras, Trent, Courtois kept them in the game too with some impressive saves. And yeah, Vini finished them off. They were missing Mbappe, but to be honest, I don't feel like they need Mbappe to beat Benfica. Benfica is a good team, but with the amount of money and investment Madrid has put into their squad over the last 10 to 15 years, it's a no-brainer that they would come up on top when they're at home.
And then a quick one update on Asensio, who had a collision in that match. Arbeloa, that's the coach of Real Madrid. after the game came out to say, well, it's a neck thing, it's a neck issue. That Asensio should be fit in soonest. Hopefully, yes, he should be back. Yes, next week or this weekend, whatever. But then he's saying it's not that serious. It's just a neck thing, and he should be back. Well, the race for Budapest gets tougher from round of 16, and of course, Newcastle might be facing Barcelona or Chelsea in this one. And of course, Chelsea fans, the pride of London, champions of the world, they say they are ready for anyone. Let's could be facing Liverpool or Tottenham Hotspur. Bayern Leverkusen might be facing, of course, Bayern Munich or Arsenal. And then we have Bodo Glimt might be facing Man City or Sporting Lisbon. Talking about the round of 16, which will be taking place on Friday. And then we'll get to see those who will start the fight for Budapest. Let's not forget Europa League as well and Conference League. But I expect at least one of our Premier League teams to get to the finals. Five teams in the Champions League. Yeah,
definitely. My bets is on either Man City or Arsenal. That's if they manage to avoid each other before then. But yeah, it's a no-brainer that Premier League is the best league in the world. So obviously a team from there has to be in the finals for it to make sense.
A team from Premier League has to be there for it to make sense. With a come, let's quickly rush, go pay some bills. Sports Cruiser on UTV Africa, live from our Abuja studio. No game. We'll come back. Of course, we'll be talking Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. Don't forget, we've got boxing for you. Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather still there up front. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back. Welcome back to Sports Cruise on UTV Africa, live from Abuja studio in the nation's capital. Chiwo Pikin is my name, alongside Etimileyin or Junuga. Well, let's rush through to Premier League actions this weekend. Of course, interestingly, some mouth-watching fixtures that day for those who they chase title and for those who they chase Champions League football next season. Wolves will be at home against Aston Villa. Bournemouth, Sunderland, Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle, Everton, Burnley, Brentford, Leeds United, Man City, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Fulham, Tottenham, Man United, Crystal Palace, and then the big one, Arsenal, Chelsea. Well, let's start with Leeds United, Manchester City. They will go first before Arsenal, Chelsea. And talk about pressure. We know there's pressure everywhere.
Yeah, there is.
There's pressure on Man City to want to keep up with Arsenal. There's also pressure on Arsenal. But if you listen to the match, the comments after Newcastle match against Man City, Pep said he knows that they're going to lose match. He knows they will stumble, but he doesn't know about the rest of the teams. Is this a worry, Leeds United, in front of Man City?
Well, you know, one thing about Guardiola is he loves to play mind games.
True.
Those comments, especially with Arteta being his former assistant manager, is going to play a couple of tricks on the Arsenal players' mind, but they shouldn't fret because what he said is basically the truth. I don't think any of these two teams expect not to drop points until the end of the season, but they're just trying to make sure, okay, we at least let's try and win the most games. Let's try and gather the most points we can. Let's not look at if we're going to lose or not, but let's just try our best and say, okay, we gave our all. Man City going to the Leeds Stadium to go and play that game is going to be very, very, very tough for them because you can see just like how Sunderland were, Leeds, they mostly get most of their points when they're at home. And they have this certain level of vindictive play when it comes to facing the top teams. Like we saw against we saw against when they faced Liverpool. They don't just sit back and say, "Oh, let's defend." Yeah, even though it wasn't the same thing against Arsenal because you know Arsenal beat them 4-0 when they were at home. But this is a late night game. It wasn't like the Arsenal game that was in the afternoon. You know, Leeds when they play at home in the night is a different atmosphere. So yeah, that game is going to be really good. I mean, Haaland wants to make sure he can make his team go all over the place and, you know, play a lot of very good football. But, yeah, it's going to be hard for them. But I see Man City winning that game.
And then at Liverpool, West Ham as well. Liverpool will be home against West Ham. You don't expect Liverpool to at least pick up 3 points against West Ham at home?
Yeah, Liverpool, they have gotten their belief back, with their late win against Nottingham Forest.
Over the weekend.
They got a goal cancelled by VAR, then they got a goal checked by VAR, and it was given. So it's just one of those things. Everybody is looking at the league table and are like, we can't let this slip. Some people are going for top four, like you said. Some people are going for the league. West Ham, they have had really, really, really good games. They have gotten their form back, but there just seems to be a problem when it comes to scoring. Like we saw it again when they faced Bournemouth. They just couldn't get the ball at the back of the net. So going to Anfield, I feel like that will put further pressure on their players. And, like I said, it's Anfield again, once again. The Ekitike, Salah, Florian Wirtz, they'll try and see the game over. But yeah, I see Liverpool picking up the 3 points in that game.
While Man United will be at home against Crystal Palace. Man United picked up 3 points against Everton away from home. Talk about confidence. Talk about confidence booster. Talk about chasing top four. They seems to have cemented their place in top fours with the pressure behind Aston Villa this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Aston Villa they just have with 3 points, just ahead Manchester United with 3 points. I wouldn't say, because it's not going to be an easy game. When Man U face Crystal Palace always seem to have this sort of anger against us. I don't know why, but to be factual, our performance against Everton wasn't really that good. To me, it wasn't really that good. Everton had a lot of chances that they could have capitalized on, but they just couldn't. And if not for the
thank God for Salah Lamens.
Lamens, he really came through. And if not for that Sesko, actually from Kuna with the pass to Mbuemo and the Sesko finish, that game would have been 2 easy points that we could have gotten dropped. So, but since we're at home and recently we have been doing really good under Michael Carrick at home, I see us taking the 3 points. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy game. But one thing I would really prefer is if Benjamin Sesko starts that game.
You think it's time for him to start?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's time. Even though, you can see it in his game that he's not really confident. Sometimes when he has a lot of time on the ball, he tends to overthink the next run of play. We saw it against Tottenham in our 2-0 win. When Bruno passed the ball to him, he had a lot of time, but he just headed it down. And we even saw it on Monday against Everton. There was another ball where I think it was Dalot. Dalot played the ball to him. It was one-on-one with Pickford, and he just tend to overthink what he was going to do, and Pickford had the chance to clear the ball away. So it's one of those things. I feel like he's a young striker, and the problem with young strikers is sometimes they tend to overthink it because of the backlash they get. But I really like when I read his comments about where he feels he belongs in the team. He shows that he's level-headed and he really wants to prove himself. So yeah, they should give him a shot.
Well, they've met twice this season, and twice Arteta came out on top. Another this weekend, so Arsenal will be at home against Chelsea. Liam Rosenior will be up against Arteta again this weekend. 5 points with a game in hand for Manchester City. You would expect Arteta and Arsenal to make sure that they pick up 3 points from this match, because Man City will play before them. But if we go back to what happened to Tottenham Hotspur last weekend at the London Derby, another London Derby as well. It showed me said Chelsea, and of course Liam Rosenior knew, or rather they know exactly what to expect at the Emirates Stadium. Say it no go easy for them. Looking at Arsenal and Arteta and the guys, they won the trophy this season, and if they are not to have it, I don't want to believe Chelsea will pour sand inside their garage this weekend.
Oh yeah, I wish Mr. Otumba was here, because I'd really love to see his commentary on this. But yeah, I don't think Arsenal lose that game. I mean, never say never, because that's what we said earlier in the season when they faced Barca and they went there and they showed Barca something else. Like, Chelsea is a team, even in the FIFA World Cup against PSG, they really tend to do well when they are the underdogs.
When you write them off.
Yeah, when you write them off.
Chelsea will show you better.
Exactly. And, Caicedo, Palmer, they'll be looking to, shock the world. And,
but based on form, Chelsea are not informed.
No, they are not.
In Premier League, they're not informed.
Yeah, they are not informed. Like I said, it's going to be very hard, and I feel like the game is going to be decided by who gets the first goal. It's going to be a really tough uphill battle for the team that concedes to get back into the game, because even with the game in the Carabao, you could see that it was tough for Chelsea, but until the dying minute, they were able to, even though yes, they were the ones trying to come forward and look for the goal, but you could see that even Arsenal, they were finding it hard to get the goal until when Chelsea had pushed all their players forward and Havertz had that running to score. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. I don't see it being a game that one team is going to score dozens of goals or just have their way with the other team. I feel like it's going to be very hard fought. But yeah, Arsenal is going to take the win.
Give me your scoreline.
I would say 2-1.
2-1 in favor of Arsenal. Yeah. Well, 2-1 in favor of Arsenal from Timilei. What you give us your own comments. Do you think Chelsea can stop Arsenal at the Emirates this weekend? It no go easy. Judging by waiting Tottenham, what it's Arsenal do Tottenham, it no go easy. And talking about Chelsea, for a very long time, Chelsea never really get any results from them since 2020-21. Yes, okay, Chelsea have scored just once in their last 5 appearances versus Arsenal at the Emirates. And guess who scored? None Madueke currently, who plays for Arsenal. So it no go easy for easy for Chelsea. Yeah,
definitely no, but that's one of the things, records are there to be broken. I'm sure the Chelsea players, they wouldn't mind that stats because they'll be looking to break it. So it's just what it is. Every Premier League match day, there's always something that has never happened that happens. So yeah, they'll be looking forward to the game. Rosenor's men, as with them being the underdogs, they'll be looking to create a huge upset. And I'm sure Guardiola and his players, after their game in Leeds, they will also tune in for that game.
They must watch that match. I think the whole world will watch the match. Yeah, it's the biggest match this weekend. Well, let's rush through Premier League and rush through to La Liga this weekend. At Levante, Alaba, Friday kickoff, 9 p.m. Rayo Vallecano Athletic Club, at Barcelona, Villarreal, Mallorca, Real Sociedad, Real Oviedo, Atletico Madrid, Elche Espanyol, at Valencia, Osasuna, Real Betis, Sevilla, Girona, Celta Vigo, Real Madrid. Getafe, that match is for Monday, 9 p.m. Barcelona will be hoping to extend the lead once more as they face Villarreal this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game, like first versus fourth. And looking at it, all eyes go to Barca winning that game. Over me personally, I feel like Barca is going to win that game just because of they're coming from a very good win against Levante and is also at home. And they are looking to get some of their players back. So you can't write off Villarreal because they find most of their form in the La Liga. You could see they were in the Champions League and they were close to bottom in this Champions League run. But they tend to put most of their focus on La Liga. So it's not going to be an easy game for Barca, definitely. I mean, Pepe and his men are going to be looking to cause an upset, but I'm sure Barca, they won't want to make the lead, the 1 point lead they just got back.
2 point lead. Is it 1 point or 2 points?
Is it 1 point?
Let me confirm briefly. I think it should be yes, 1 point right now. 1 point. 1 point.
Yeah, so they won't want their 1 point lead to go away.
1 point.
And they know that, Madrid, they are facing Getafe after
on Monday.
And it's going to be also at Madrid's home. So they'll be very, very cautious to, get the win. So yeah, I see Barca winning that.
Well, of course, our own star boy, Ademola Lookman, will be up against Real Oviedo this weekend. So hopefully he gets an assist or a goal, so he can't stop scoring for Real Madrid. All right, let's go Madrid. He can't stop scoring or creating chances or assists.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I'm sure Simeone is very... You could see there was a video after the game against Club Brugge, and he was shaking everybody. And when he got at the he hugged him. So you can tell he's really happy with the club believing in him to bring that player in. And I'm sure Lookman too is also happy choosing passion over money.
Passion over money. Some will tell you, man, with the rate of poverty where they come out from, who don't go like to collect money? Who don't go like to collect money? What is passion over money? There's nothing like passion over money. Allow our guy when they talk, make it collect your for that side. Well, let's leave La Liga and cross over to Serie A. Parma will be up against Cagliari. Friday kickoff 8:45. Como, Lecce, Verona, Napoli, Inter, Genoa, Cremonese, Milan, Sassuolo, Atalanta, Torino, Lazio, Roma, Juventus, Pisa, Bologna on Monday. Udinese, Fiorentina on Monday. Roma, Juventus, Inter, Genoa, Verona, Napoli, Cremonese in Milan. Roma, Juventus, one of those big games. I've talked about how the Serie A teams don't really do well for Champions League. But then Del Piero came out to say a lot of things after that match. Talked about a whole lot of things why Serie A is not doing well as a body, or why Italian football is not doing well as a whole. But come on, Roma Juventus should be one of those big games this weekend.
Yeah, it is, and especially when it's going to be at Roma's home. I think Roma tops Juve in the league with 4 points. Roma being fourth, Juve being fifth.
Yeah.
So Juve is going to go into that game trying to close the gap so that they can nick a Champions League spot from Roma, but it's not going to be easy. I mean, there was a point this season that Roma were first before they started getting a lot of draws and a lot of losses. So yeah, my money is on Roma winning that game, but let's not write Juve out because they really have a lot of good players in their team.
And of course, Verona, Napoli sits third in the league. Inter, the top. Inter will hope to finish the season strong and get back to Champions League very fast.
Yeah,
because they had a poor run in the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have any excuse not winning the league now. I feel like it's all in their hands, especially with their 10 points gap at the top of the table. And now there's no European football to fall back on that I can say, oh, we're preparing for our European matches. So yeah, from here, I see it's been a landslide for Inter.
A landslide for Inter. Meanwhile, Como, Cesc Fabregas, who's the giant slayer, will be at home against Lecce. I didn't see them picking up 3 points against Juve last weekend. That's what Fabregas is all about, cooking with Como.
Yeah. Very, 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 very good coach. You can tell that he puts a lot of passion and he puts a lot of trust in his players. Hopefully, Nico Paz is going to be back for this game because he was missing in their last game. But yeah, I see Como taking the 3 points too. Apart from Nico Paz, he has other players too
who can do the job
that
against
are very
Lecce.
efficient. So yeah, the ball is in their hands.
All right, I will go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking boxing. Manny Pacquiao, of course, Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, to face each other once more. The money don't finish for Floyd in hand. Will they come back? Don't get any response quiz on UTV Africa. Will they come back? Hello, welcome back to Sports Cruise. It's the last lap, but we got you with boxing. He is 47. The other one is 48. Manny Pacquiao 47. Floyd Mayweather, of course, 48. The last time Floyd Mayweather fought was 2027 with Conor McGregor. But guess what? Both of them are back to face each other on the 19th of September in a professional match, which will be live on Netflix. Some believes that financial troubles might be the reason why Floyd Mayweather, the money man, is coming back into the ring. Come on. Are you excited for these two guys?
To be honest, not really. It's going to be a good show of boxing.
Two boxing pound for pound greats.
But come on, man. Like at the point, you just have to be like, what is the reason for this fight? Because you can't say it's ambition. You can't say it's for glory. It's the pure reason behind this fact is for money. And I mean, why not? Let them get their money. Let everybody eat. You know, some of their hardcore fans have been waiting for two of them to go. I mean, their last bout was 11 years ago. But it's kind of a surprise that, you know, two, especially in this age of boxing, two men way past their prime coming back to get a bout.
Is it not good? Is it not good to have 47 and 48-year-old, come show us what they're made of? One of the two powerful powerhouses when it comes to pound for pound boxing.
I mean, 10 years ago, I would have probably said it was going to be a hazard but now that there are more fighting restrictions, the boxing game has become more inclusive for the boxers' health. So yeah, why not?
And of course, for Filipino Pacquiao, who retired from the sports to focus on his political career in 2021, but then he returned to the ring July last year to fight WBC welterweight champion Mario Barros. Of course, he lost draw. He retained Barros retained his bet. Manny Pacquiao first met and Mayweather first met in 2015, and it was billed as a fight of the century and remains the richest in boxing history. That's to show you the kind of what these two gentlemen are made of. When it comes to pound for pound boxing, leave on for Floyd Mayweather, leave on for Manny Pacquiao. Both of them don't pay their dues. Certainly, some will say they want to see them back in the ring again, and that's exactly what we want. While I'm talking about see them back in the ring again, no one knows when this man Anthony Joshua will be back in the ring again. But guess what? The driver will be there in charge of the SUV in Nigeria that crashed. They don't adjourn in case until March. Yes, the driver who's been charged for manslaughter and the rest of them. Hopefully, he will prove in case and come out strong. Of course, Daniel Dubois and Watley will be facing each other come May as well in a heavyweight bout. Two gentlemen that knows each other. And already, of course, two belts on the line, WBO belt on the line as well for this fight. And that's that from us on the show Sports Cruise with my top striker, Timileyo Dunuga, live from our Abuja studio here in the nation's capital. My name is Chinwe Pikin. Have yourself a wonderful day. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye for now.